Hello, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be showing you how to condense your run service. Typically, some people would try to make multiple run service for every instance that they need it. So someone gets poisoned, run service poison effect. A projectile is moving, run service projectile. And it works, but if you make too much of it, it starts lagging your game. So it's better to reduce the amount of run service used as possible. So in this video, I'll be showing you how you can pass functions to the module script and using a single run service, run all 5 of these functions at once. Before we begin, I want to solidify the concept of printing out a function and printing out a function call. A function call is the function with a parentheses and whatever arguments and parameters it takes, which are the stuff inside the parentheses. So when you don't have the parentheses, you print out the variable holding the function, which is the function itself. This is how we will pass functions to our module script. How this works in a nutshell is we have our heartbeat here. It will iterate through all the functions inside of a table, and we can add functions to the table using a module function right here. And what I was explaining earlier, we pass the function object to this table and we save it as the key. Any other additional parameters or stuff it might know as the information, and you can add more here if you want, like var b, var c, and store in this table. And that's how we run lots of functions at the same time. os.clock is a method that returns the current time, and if I let this play out, if a heartbeat calls os.clock every time it runs, it will print out a number representing that current time. Notice how the numbers keep climbing up and then all of a sudden it stops. That's because I set the os.clock to stop printing once the os.clock reaches 5 seconds after its start time, which I saved right here. This is the start time and this is the end time. If I make these print out, it will show the end time and the start time. So right here, the time is 10,000 and the end time is 10,009. Because I added 5 to the start time, I get the end time. That's the logic. So once the os.clock calls a number that matches with the end time, I terminate the function. Alright, what if I want to run a function that only runs at 1 second intervals? Because we know run service doesn't activate every 1 second. So I have this output to represent how I'm going to pull this off. So as you see here, the output can identify when 1 full second has passed. And it does that by using this variable called second. And every time run service adds, I add the delta, which is the amount of time between the last run service function that has ran. So it counts up, which is pretty accurate. I tested this. This counting is really accurate. And we count using the second variable until the number reaches over 1. Once it reaches over 1, it will subtract 1, and then it will activate a variable that tells the function that this specific function is at a 1 second interval, and that's how I'll that's when I'll activate my 1 second interval scripts using this if statement. So I can just like copy and paste this iteration thing and put it under an if statement that only activates when this is true. Alright, here I have this burn pad set up. It will burn you when you touch it, and here is the code. So when you touch this burn pad, it will activate this function right here. And first, it will apply a burn effect to the person who touched it, and then it will load up the burn function. So the humanoid will take 4 damage every second that the run service detects. And I added a second loop here for a new table called st, which stands for second table. And these are 4 functions that run every second on every second interval. And I have a new module function to add s functions in there. And for this, for effects where it adds something and then stops doing something at the start and very end, you want to do that in a separate script, because the run service can, its purpose is to do something over time. If you want like a one and done thing, then it's better to put on the original script, and then you can set your own timer with a simple task.wait to remove any like visuals or persisting effects that doesn't need a run service to actually make appear. So when I play test and I touch on this pad, it will load the function onto the module script, and then as soon as it realizes that it ends, it will remove it. And yeah, it's a really simple thing. I'm gonna end it here. I'm pretty sure I don't need to show any more examples to show off how this works. I could do it for regen, I can do it with projectiles. You can add some fancy logic for like damage functions. Like say I'm burning and I'm regenerating, it would like say I have like say instead I can add some like complex logic where it will return the amount of damage dealt to a player. So I have like a table of players here, and whenever a player joins or leaves, it adds to this table. And instead of the burn effect dealing damage directly, I just have it do this, damage equal 4, and every time someone burns, it adds to a player inside of this table a damage counter, and if they regenerate it, it will offset that if you want to do some fancy stuff like that. But that's about it. This is a pretty simple idea, I hope this video helped. See ya.